And welcome back to Carrabba's Italian Grill here at the Fayetteville Town Center on QSportsTalk.com. Nye Automotive exclusive Q&A with Coach Adrian Autry. And if you have a question for the coach or a comment, you can log in here and enter into the stream chat as people are doing here already to say hi and some questions in there, Red. And how you doing, man?
I'm doing good, man. Doing good. Just finished up practice, getting ready for Saturday.
Looking at some of the updates here that people are providing in the stream chat, but the Orange women up 38-32 at the half at Notre Dame. Nice outing so far.
Coach Jack.
She's doing a fantastic job.
She's got them going. Yes, she does.
I mean, the excitement. And then now even when I hear if I'm listening to the game or catching the highlights, the crowd sound, the crowds are into it.
Oh, yeah. She has a lot of energy.
Yes, she does. Anyway, if you have a question here for Red, you can certainly do it right now. Put it into the stream chat. And right off the top, Roddy wants to know what the most memorable game in the NCAA tournament during the 2013 Final Four run was for you.
2013 Final Four.
So that was Atlanta.
That was Atlanta. Man.
I remember in Washington before going down, there were some fantastic games there.
That was Indiana Marquette.
Yes.
That was really I thought that was really big time. Now those games to remember. Obviously, making it to the Final Four was great, and we came short. We lost to Michigan, that Michigan team that year, and we just because I think was it Louisville, Wichita State.
Yeah, that's right.
Was the second game, and we had just lost to Louisville in the Big East, I believe, the Big East Championship.
Is that the same year and I don't remember the player's name for Louisville, it broke his leg?
Was
that the same?
Kevin Way. Yeah.
Was that the same? Was that 2013 or was that?
I can't remember these years.
I know.
I'm getting old.
Those games in Washington, I remember the Indiana game.
Indiana game was phenomenal.
It was a great game, and I was sitting. I had a really good seat for that. In fact, I got kicked out of it. It was actually in John Feinstein's seat, the writer.
Oh man!
I didn't know, but for the first 5 minutes of the game, I had his seat, and the first trip up the court for Indiana, and it was Oladipo,
Yogi Ferrell,
and who was their
Cody Zeller?
Yeah,
Cody Zeller.
And the first trip up the court, and it was Brandon, Trish, and Michael Carter Williams, and there was a couple Indiana fans sitting right behind me, and they, first trip up the court, they commented on that because at floor level you can notice the size difference. Right. And so where did they get these guys? From a football team?
Oh yeah, those guys were we had a big backcourt then.
See comments here from the stream chat of QSportsTalk.com. Women's basketball killing it on the boards. There you go. It's great that people are paying attention to the women's game tonight. And then tomorrow we're going to have someone on the radio show from the women's team coach. I'm not sure who just yet, but this one here from Steve, Coach. Our losses have been by 16 points or more this year. Is that going to make a difference when it comes to NCAA committee time, or do they just want to know like wins and losses and who you've beaten?
It's a good question. I don't know. I don't think that. I mean, I think it has some impact on some of the net stuff, the movement every now and then. It actually does, because that's where the system is kind of. People say it's a little flawed because teams can manipulate it by playing lesser teams and beating them by a ton to move up their net rankings. So I think it matters a little bit, but I think ultimately we, in our league, we have enough games left and enough good quality games left that if we can take care of business, I don't think it really matters. I think all the teams that we lost to, I think at least 4 or 5 of them are in the top 5 right now.
Question here from Coach D in the stream chat of QSportsTalk.com. Justin Taylor's talent, why doesn't seem to be translating to have more productive minutes in the stat sheet during the game?
It's a little tough. Obviously, we've brung in and we play a lot of guys, and I think sometimes with his skill set, people guard him a little differently than they guard other people. So it's hard for him sometimes, for us to try to get him a shot when they defend him, so hard. And again, we'll try to run some stuff on him every now and then, but it's so they scout each other, so it's identifiable that they know that we're trying to probably get something for him, so they cover it, they prepare for that because he's one of our better shooters.
This one here from Matt says, "Hey, Coach, hope you're doing well. What are the similarities from our losses that we've had where it tends to slip away with 10 minutes left in the game? That seems to be, when those games go that route, that seems to be what happens."
I think obviously those games have been the tougher games. A lot of the similarities is, we kind of go on probably a little scoring drought, and then I think our defense gets impacted, and then try to get going again. It's been tough, but I think really it's just the scoring droughts. I think whenever we've had that, either it's been a scoring drought or we've turned the ball over to create a distance as far as live ball stuff or something like that. Because I know Duke was the one game that stuck out to me that obviously battled to about that 12 or 13 minute mark, and then we had like 3 or 4 like live ball turnovers that turned into threes, because that's when they started getting their threes, because in the first half they didn't get any threes. So that one sticks out in particular. I thought the last game, Florida State, we were attacking, and then once we stopped attacking and we couldn't score, we missed a couple of tip-ins. Benny had a chance to get a couple of tip-ins that, you tip those in and you make your free throws. Like, that changes the game a little bit.
Sure.
And, we just kind of got stagnant. And, defensively, I thought our defense took a hit when we stopped scoring.
And it's got to be, when you're on the bench watching that, obviously just frustrating. Like when it happens once, okay, that's the game. Then it happens the second time, and it's like third time, whatever.
Yeah.
And then what is that? Is that the timeout time, or is it?
You try to get some timeouts. You try to get them. Obviously, when you're in the heat of the moment, you're trying to calm them down and trying to run something, to execute something, and get their confidence going again. Try to draw up something that can get them an easy basket, get something going on the offensive end. I mean, obviously, defense is important. But when the ball's not going in and you're struggling to get shots up, it's kind of natural where it kind of deflates you a little bit, and I think that's where we have to grow and get past those moments.
This one here, Coach. This might be a tough one to answer. It's like, who do you think is the best player that never really made it or never panned out, like, over the years? There's always, that just happens. Guys get injured, maybe, or they just
it's so many factors, and I think people sometimes don't understand how hard it is as far as what are you judging it on? College is hard, and our level is really hard. It's the closest level to the NBA,
Sure.
which is really, really hard. So again, I think sometimes the expectations you're talking about people living up to expectations or living up to what other people may think they should do. So you really don't know,
that's true. What's the definition?
What's the definition of making it or not making it?
Question here has to do with the Chance Westry, and I don't even know if you're able to answer that, as far as if he's going to be able to.
Yeah, Chance is working. We just don't have a timetable.
See this one here. Coach, how tough has it been managing the lineups since McLeod's injury?
It's been challenging because you now you're going, your second option at that position was Malik Brown, and so you never really kind of get to that third option, that fourth option. So now, everyone's kind of moved up on the depth chart. So now trying to work these guys in to be able to back up, come in and help Malik out. That's been challenging, and we've been flirting. I think people have seen it. We flirted a little bit, with moving some guys around in different situations. So Munir every now and then, and Peter Carey, and even trying to slide Benny over there at times. Depending on the team. With Miami, them being kind of like size and not really a huge physical team. You could get Benny away. You can get away with putting Benny there every now and then.
We had JJ on this morning, and he was talking about the Miami game and that buzzer beater, and he said that's really the first buzzer beater he'd been a part of.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it was exciting.
Yeah,
I mean, it just had a great feel, an old kind of a Big East feel with the place electric, and the crowd being as into it and as loud, and then obviously with the way the game ended, there it was just a great moment. And JJ said that's the first one he's actually been a part of.
Yeah, I mean, I've been a part of some cool ones, but yeah, those are fun to be a part of. But we gotta get ready. We gotta move on.
Yeah, that's right. Well, and obviously that was a week ago, and then you followed it up with a tough game against a tough Florida State team, and then really not much time to dwell and look at the tape. Now, when you break down the Florida State game and you watch it on video, and I know you're able to cut it up and show some of the highlights or just things that you want to highlight to the guys. How much time do you spend doing that before you then done? NC State.
We try to do it typically the next day, and we treat that. That's our learning time. To see visuals, to see, and here it is. It's always some things that you can show that you need to get better at, but it's always good to show some things that you did good. Because again, for the most part, we had a lead into the second half, and we did some good things. So you show some good things because you want those things to continue. You want those things to resonate, so they understand that, hey, this is what we want. This is what it should look like. We had a couple of possessions in the Florida State game that were really good, where we got some guys moving, cutting, ball popping and moving. So we want to try to keep emphasizing those things, or some tough rebounds, or someone going to the glass. So we pick and choose, what we want to use, but it's also some things that we have to get better at, so.
Question here from Go Orangeman. He says, Coach, I've been following SU basketball since the days of Roy Danforth.
Wow.
I remember when you played at, is it Tallentine High School in the Bronx, and a parade All-American. He wanted to ask regarding the roster. And I know it's hard, to look at next year just because of the way college basketball is now with, who's coming back, who's going to be here. And you can't really discuss incoming guys yet anyway, for the most part. But it seems to me that you need to recruit a point guard with Judah in the event that he does, make the leap next year, and a shooting guard, I think, and a true center with offensive skills. That's a good wish list. I could do that if I had that. I could put together a pretty good squad if I was able to do that.
I think everybody's looking for those.
It's like, where do you find those, right? It's like, just let me know.
Everybody's looking for those.
Let me see. This from the game this past week, and I know during the game and the timeouts you're focused, so you don't see what's happening on the scoreboard, but those are the segments that you pre-record with the players. It's like the little quiz. It's like get to know Red Autry. And the one that ran this past week had to do, the question was, and they asked the players whether they thought you were a do-it-yourself guy, or do you hire someone to do the project kind of guy? And a couple of the players, like flat out, I don't remember who the first one on the scoreboard, just wouldn't even think about it, said, "Oh, he hires people." but it ended up being that you do a little bit of both.
Right.
And, so what was the last do-it-yourself project that you actually tackled?
Oh, man. It's been a while. My wife is the person that does everything in the house. I'll do some little small things, but I won't get too crazy.
No, I'm with you on that. Anything where
I get impatient.
But if somebody says, "Okay, go to the circuit box and turn off the circuit," I'm out. That's not my thing.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Let me see. This one, Matt says, "Why is Alan Griffin claiming to Paulie that he can rap?" Have you been listening to any of this malarkey?
I have not. I have not, and I don't think Alan can rap, but maybe he can. Let
me see here. What can Peter Carey, Steve wants to know, give us for the rest of this year?
It's interesting. He's making progress. I think for him, it's he's always ready. and stay ready. But he's making progress with his. He's getting stronger. He's starting to understand what we're trying to do out there. He can move. So I really like that. He's intriguing because he can move and he can get out and he can fly around a little bit. I love his motor. So again, it's just he's slowly getting more comfortable and understanding what we're trying to do.
This one again regarding Chance, but at some point, can you petition for another year? Is that something in the cards, or is that you won't know till?
Yeah, we don't know what's going to be. Again, it's just no time frame.
This one here, if you were to play Florida State again in the ACC tournament, what could you do differently than you were able to do the other night now that you played them once?
Well, I would love to share that, but I don't know if the Florida State people are listening and have that on record. But I have an idea what I would do. Differently.
This one from Roddy, who wants to know what's it going to take to stop NC State's two DJs on Saturday.
The DJs?
The DJs.
Oh, the horn, yeah. I think, I don't know if you can stop them. I think you have to try to make them work and slow them down, and just make it tough for them. They're two talented players. DJ Horn, guard that we played against a couple of years ago, several years back. He was at Arizona State. He shoots the ball. He shoots with a limited range. He's crafty. He's a veteran. And then, DJ Burns down there, he's a load. So, we have our hands full with that. I think, stopping is a strong word. I think you got to make them work and try to slow them down a little bit.
Well, it seems to be what maybe Florida State, let Judah had 28 points, I think. It's like, okay, and just manage everybody around him because a guy like that's going to do his thing.
Yeah, it seemed that way. I just think, that was just one of those games where, we just didn't shoot the ball well. And, I think him and JJ had the most shots, and JJ shot it okay, but not like, we need him to shoot to win that game. And, we missed, a bunch of free throws. You take away a couple of turnovers, you cut those in half, and you make some of the shots. We missed a couple of easy shots around the rim, and you make, 5 or 6, 7 more free throws. It's a different game. So that's how close it is sometimes.
This question here in the stream chat. Coach, where do you get the hats that you wear during interviews on Q Sports Talk? It seems like you have quite a collection of them.
I got a collection of hats. I get them from all over.
Do people give them to you?
No, I buy them.
Oh, yeah?
I buy them, yeah. I go sometimes at the bookstore, online. The bookstore, most of them, I go down to the bookstore. They have some nice hats over there.
This one here from Coach Coach D5. Do you think officials should start penalizing coaches for being on the floor during the game? It's getting out of control.
Yeah, I think it's getting. Again,
you're not an advocate. You're just commenting on the question.
I think it's going to happen.
In your opinion, that's probably something. I
think it's going to happen. I've seen in the recent couple of weeks of what that person's talking about, people kind of on the court and almost playing defense. Yeah. So I'm sure that's going to happen. Something's going to be addressed about it, I'm sure.
Is there any other, every year there are some rules that they tinker with that they try, and I know rule changes regarding, charging and flopping and whatever. What are some of the new ones this year that started?
Yeah, the block was supposed to be removed. And that's not been the case, but I'm not going to sound like but it was supposed to be like, hey, once you pick the ball up and you're going, if that person is, moving or whatever, it's supposed to be impossible. Like they're supposed to remove the block charge, and it
didn't happen.
The charge call, but it's not happening. Well, at least not for us.
Are there any you would like to see? Because obviously everybody has their own, or maybe a rule from the NBA that you'd like to see in college basketball, or any changes that you'd like to see.
The one thing the block charge call was something that I thought should be eliminated, because these guys are so big now, they so fast and they jump up high. So, either you contest or you get out the get out the way, because someone's going to get really, really hurt. These guys fly around, they move. I think that was the one the one thing that comes to mind right away. And then, at some point, I think certain little things. I wouldn't mess with the shot clock. We're younger. But I think some of the rules, like being able to maybe advance the ball. At late in the game, you call a timeout, you can advance it, move it up to your side of the court and, kind of draw a play up or something like that. Little stuff like that, I think, wouldn't be that bad.
This question here, and I think you'd be able to talk about it. Do you still keep in contact with guys who have transferred out like Joe or Jesse?
I watch them. I follow them. I watch them. You technically can't contact them. Just because they're at a part of the university. But I follow them and I watch them pretty much every chance I get. I think Jesse should be coming back soon. And obviously, with Joe, and we get ready to play Joe in a couple of weeks too. So, but I get a chance to watch them. I follow them and I watch them.
This question from Ryan. What was it like playing with the Conrad McRae?
It was phenomenal. That was my guy,
He was your guy.
He's my guy. He was the guy that I can dribble the ball down the court and just throw it up in the air, and I knew he was going to go get it. And then, being able to play defense and knowing that I had a big guy back there that was going to, change his shot, alter his shot. It was great. But he was, he was fun to play with. He was fun to play with. McNasty is what they called him. McNasty.
And I think we talked about this a week or two ago, but just today compared to that era and other eras where guys stayed for 3-4 years, and you have those memories and those stories and those experiences that some of the guys now, that when they're just kind of coming and going, aren't going to have.
Yeah, no, it's a fast world. Everything moves fast now. These guys the opportunities are faster. They're making decisions faster. Everything is just fast. So.
This one here, great play from a couple years ago. What were you thinking when Dolajai took that charge on Zion?
You know what? I kind of was like, oh my God, because he took the charge. As soon as Zion hit him, you seen Marek feet fly off the floor, like literally fly off the floor and fall. And I think what was so amazing again, but that was Marek. He does anything it takes to win, and that was, I think that kind of captivated that whole thing captivated. But if you'd have seen him the next day or two walking around, he was wrapped up in ice, just sore. But no, that was
a great moment.
Yeah, I was like, oh my God. I was like, oh, is he okay?
Yeah, I was watching with some friends, and everybody, it was just like a collective. Oh,
yeah. It was like, oh, Zion was big, man. He's a big boy.
This one here?
One thing on that.
What?
They said on ESPN that it was the equivalent of getting hit by a Jeep at 10 miles an hour. They broke it down, the science of it.
Oh my God. It was on that sports science show.
Yeah.
Huh? Yeah.
That was awesome. Okay, let's see, back to a couple of the questions from the stream chat. Are you going to, well, I don't know if you would even plan it or do it on purpose, but to get a technical foul to fire up the guys? Like an Aaron Boone.
No, I don't think I'm there yet. I don't think I'm there yet. And if I do, I got to get it early because I don't like giving points away. So, but I really try not to really focus on the refs so much. I really don't. I really try to stay, locked in on the game and what my team and what they need to be doing. Now, every now and then I'll say some stuff, but I try not to. I really try to stay away from the refs because even when they make a call, even if I disagree, it's not going to change anything. So,
not going to do it. On HBO a couple of nights ago, read American Sniper was on. I know that's one of your go-to.
Show.
That's your movie there. Yeah. What about that? I mean, I like it too, but it's just one of those ones that just you get it.
Why? Yeah, it's just
you get zeroed in.
Hell yeah, he's just breathing slow and just I don't know why. I don't know why.
It's focus.
Yeah, focus.
The comment here about your technical foul versus Pitt fired us up.
The technical foul.
Yep.
Yeah, you know what I was a little upset at that point. Yeah, I was upset at that point. I try to stay.
Yeah,
I try to stay.
It worked, I guess, in that instance, right?
Huh?
It worked, though, I guess, right?
Well, if we didn't win,
Yeah.
then they would have said I cost them the game if we'd have lost by 1 point. So you got to be careful with those.
There's a video making around here on social media. Ryan wants to know, have you seen Paulie get put in the submission hold yesterday by the wrestler who was in the studio?
I did not see it.
Oh, we got to show
But it's
it to you.
going around. I got to see it. Oh my God!
It looked like it hurt. We'll show that to you.
Oh.
Anyway, Coach, thanks. Good luck on Saturday. It's going to be a big night. Dave Big night. Dave
looking
Big
forward to
night
it.
at getting into the Ring of Honor. Well deserved and probably overdue, to be honest with you. But it's going to be a great atmosphere. Good luck against NC State. We'll see you back here next Thursday, Carrabba's, here on QSportsTalk.com.
All right, take care. Good seeing you.
All right, see you, Red.
Bye-bye.